Imagine a place, hidden deep in the desert, a spot people only whisper about, where the usual rules of our world might not apply, where things could be different. Tonight, we're going to a place everyone calls Area 51, and we'll look at the amazing claims of a man who says he saw its deep secrets, a man named Bob Lazar. Before we even begin to delve into the specific and extraordinary claims that Bob Lazar has put forth, before we allow our minds to consider the possibility of hidden technologies and otherworldly beings, let us first and most importantly allow ourselves to become utterly immersed in the very essence of the landscape that gently cradles this enduring enigma. For the Nevada desert itself holds an ancient, quiet power, a profound and indifferent expanse where the slightest breath of wind whispers its secrets through the gnarled branches of sagebrush, where the sun beats down with an unwavering, almost relentless intensity, creating an overwhelming sense of isolation that has, for a very long time, appealed deeply to those who seek to operate their endeavors far beyond the prying, curious eyes of the everyday world, far from the bustling noise and the constant scrutiny of human civilization. Imagine yourself standing at this very moment upon this arid, sun-baked earth, feeling the air, thin and dry, caress your skin, a sensation that is both stark and strangely refreshing, and listen to the profound silence, a quiet so deep it almost hums, broken only by the delicate rustle of a tumbleweed as it dances lazily across the cracked ground, pushed by an unseen current of air, or perhaps the distant, mournful cry of a hawk, circling gracefully and effortlessly high above in the vast, cerulean dome of the sky, its shadow a fleeting whisper on the earth below, a place where the very edges of the world, the horizons, stretch on endlessly in every direction, inviting both deep contemplation, a quiet moment of introspection, and at the same time, a chilling, almost unsettling sense of insignificance, a gentle reminder of our own smallness in the face of such vastness. For countless centuries, this ancient land has patiently borne witness to the slow, relentless, and often unhurried dance of time. Its immense, ancient rocks holding secrets far, far older than any human endeavor, secrets etched into their very being by millennia of wind and sun, a testament to geological forces beyond our everyday comprehension. Even long before the first faint whispers of secret bases began to circulate among the curious, indigenous peoples, with their deep wisdom and profound connection to the land, navigated these stark and demanding lands, their lives intricately interwoven with the harsh beauty of the environment. A delicate balance of survival and reverence, their very existence stretched above them. The infinite cosmos, and the mysterious, uncharted reaches that lay just beyond the known horizons, inviting both wonder and a healthy respect for the unknown. Later, in more recent history, determined prospectors, their eyes alight with hope and greed, drawn by the glint of elusive gold and the shimmer of silver beneath the sun, scratched at its rugged surface, enduring the same unforgiving sun that beat down on the ancient rocks and the vast, isolating distances that separated them from civilization. Their simple, often makeshift camps dotting the landscape like fleeting, temporary memories, their lives a daily arduous struggle against the relentless elements, their hopes, much like the desert itself, often as elusive and shimmering as a distant desert mirage, a cruel trick of light and heat. Yet despite these overwhelming challenges, they persevered, their quiet, often solitary presence leaving but a faint, almost imperceptible imprint on the timeless, ever-changing canvas of the land, a quiet testament to human resilience. This profound and absolute isolation, this inherent and almost sacred detachment from the bustling, vibrant centers of human population, is precisely what made this remote region so undeniably appealing to those seeking to conduct highly classified, profoundly sensitive operations, activities that required nothing less than absolute secrecy and a virtually unobservable environment, creating a natural, almost mystical shroud of discretion that few other places on Earth could offer. Think, for a moment, of the sheer logistical complexity involved in moving immense amounts of materials, highly specialized personnel, and extraordinarily sensitive equipment into such a remote and unforgiving location. The immense distances that must be traversed, often under the cloak of darkness, the few long, winding roads that lead only deeper and deeper into the vast, echoing emptiness, each passing mile deepening the profound sense of removal from the ordinary world, a feeling of stepping into a realm apart. The very emptiness of this landscape, its stark, barren beauty, ironically became its most effective and unwavering guardian, a silent, ever-vigilant sentinel protecting its hidden depths, its most profound secrets from any unwelcome intrusion, whether from curious eyes or probing instruments. And for those who had the unique, almost surreal experience of working within its closely guarded confines, the rhythm of life there was starkly, fundamentally different from anywhere else on Earth. A strange and peculiar blend of cutting-edge, almost futuristic, advanced technology, and the raw, untamed, unchanging nature of the wild desert itself. A constant, humbling reminder of the immense forces at play. They would wake each morning to the vast and would then commute across immense, unmarked tracts of land, often in vehicles that seemed too ordinary for the extraordinary work ahead, their days filled with tasks that were perhaps unlike any other on Earth, pushing the very boundaries of human knowledge and technological capability. Their nights, perhaps, haunted by the sheer weight of the secrets they meticulously kept, the knowledge that they possessed truths that could unravel the very fabric of known reality. Their lives, a strange, almost unsettling duality, existing simultaneously at the very cutting edge of scientific discovery and within the ancient, unchanging rhythm of the desert, a constant, powerful reminder of the unique and truly singular world they inhabited, a world utterly apart from the common experience, a world where the line between what is real and what is imagined sometimes seemed to blur, a place where the quiet hum of secret machinery mingled with the timeless whispers of the desert wind, creating an atmosphere of profound mystery and endless possibility, slowly lulling the mind into a state of deep, peaceful contemplation, a gentle transition towards the welcoming embrace of slumber. It is into this vast, secretive expanse, this lonely and forbidding stretch of land where only the hardiest life thrives, that the profoundly compelling and utterly unique story of Robert Scott Lazar, more commonly and perhaps famously known as Bob Lazar, began to weave itself intricately, undeniably, with the already rich and enduring legend of Area 51. His startling and almost unbelievable claims igniting not just a spark, but a veritable firestorm of intense controversy, and, at the very same time, captivating the imaginations of millions upon millions of people across the globe, forever altering the public perception, the very idea of this already enigmatic and shrouded site, embedding it even deeper into the collective consciousness of our world. Lazar himself, presented as an individual with a background rooted deeply in the complexities of physics, a man who claimed, with a quiet but firm conviction, to have worked on advanced propulsion systems, designs and concepts far beyond what most could even conceive, a professional profile that, on the surface, seemed to lend a certain undeniable credibility, a weighty believability, to his truly extraordinary assertions, painting a picture of someone capable of understanding the highly technical details he would later share. Yet, as is often the case with such monumental claims, his academic credentials would later become a focal point of intense, almost relentless scrutiny and widespread debate, adding yet another bewildering and often frustrating layer of complexity to an already bewildering, multifaceted narrative, a mystery within a mystery. A place known only as S4, located a relatively short distance south of Area 51's main operational facility at Groom Lake. A revelation that itself was astounding, even shocking, to those who thought they knew the full extent of the base, suggesting an even deeper, more concealed layer of hidden operations, a secret within an already opaque and largely unknown military complex, hinting at a vast, unseen world of activity beneath the desert floor. His task, as he meticulously and carefully described it, was not merely to observe from a distance or to catalog existing technology, but to actively, intellectually, and painstakingly reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology, to dissect and understand its very workings, specifically focusing on propulsion systems derived from what he unequivocally claimed were genuinely recovered alien spacecraft, physical objects of non-terrestrial origin, a concept so profoundly far beyond the conventional understanding of physics and engineering as it existed at the time, and indeed largely still does, that it immediately strained credulity for many, pushing the boundaries of what was deemed possible. Yet, for a growing number of others, it resonated deeply, stirring a profound, almost innate human curiosity about the universe's ultimate, most fundamental mysteries, touching upon ancient questions of life beyond Earth. It is into this vast, secretive expanse, this lonely and forbidding stretch of land where only the hardiest life thrives, that the profoundly compelling and utterly unique story of Robert Scott Lazar, more commonly and perhaps famously known as Bob Lazar, began to weave itself intricately, undeniably, with the already rich and enduring legend of Area 51, his startling and almost unbelievable claims igniting not just a spark, but a veritable firestorm of intense controversy and, at the very same time, captivating the imaginations of millions upon millions of people across the globe, forever altering the public perception, the very idea of this already enigmatic and shrouded site, embedding it even deeper into the collective consciousness of our world. Lazar himself presented as an individual with a background rooted deeply in the complexities of physics, a man who claimed, with a quiet but firm conviction, to have worked on advanced propulsion systems, designs and concepts far beyond what most could even conceive, a professional profile that, on the surface, seemed to lend a certain undeniable credibility, a weighty believability to his truly extraordinary assertions, painting a picture of someone capable of understanding the highly technical details he would later share. Yet, as is often the case with such monumental claims, his academic credentials would later become a focal point of intense, almost relentless scrutiny and widespread debate, adding yet another bewildering and often frustrating layer of complexity to an already bewildering, multifaceted narrative, a mystery within a mystery. He stated, with clear recollection, that in late 1988, in the quiet chill of the desert evenings, he was recruited to work at a highly classified site, a place known only as S4, located a relatively short distance south of Area 51's main operational facility at Groom Lake. A revelation that itself was astounding, even shocking, to those who thought they knew the full extent of the base, suggesting an even deeper, more concealed layer of hidden operations, a secret within an already opaque and largely unknown military complex, hinting at a vast, unseen world of activity beneath the desert floor. His task, as he meticulously and carefully described it, was not merely to observe from a distance or to catalog existing technology, but to actively, intellectually, and painstakingly reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology to dissect and understand its very workings, specifically focusing on propulsion systems derived from what he unequivocally claimed were genuinely recovered alien spacecraft, physical objects of non-terrestrial origin, a concept so profoundly far beyond the conventional understanding of physics and engineering as it existed at the time, and indeed largely still does, that it immediately strained credulity for many, pushing the boundaries of what was deemed possible. Yet for a growing number of others, it resonated deeply, stirring a profound, almost innate, human curiosity about the universe's ultimate, most fundamental mysteries, touching upon ancient questions of life beyond Earth. Lazar painted a remarkably vivid, almost tactile, and at times truly surreal picture of his alleged work environment, a place that felt as if it belonged in a distant future rather than a hidden desert valley, describing a vast facility carved meticulously into the side of a towering desert mountain, its raw, ancient stone exterior concealing an inner world of gleaming, almost otherworldly technology. He described its interior as a sophisticated network of pristine, cutting-edge laboratories, filled with strange equipment and an almost unnerving quiet, alongside immense hangars, vast, cavernous spaces large enough to house objects of incredible scale, a stark and almost unbelievable contrast to the rough, undeveloped, and utterly untamed exterior of the desert landscape, where harsh sun and wind were the only constant companions. He spoke with a sense of awe that still came through in his voice years later, of seeing, with his own two eyes, multiple disc-shaped vehicles floating silently, impossibly, within these vast spaces, stating unequivocally that there were 9 in total, each one a profound statement of technology far beyond human reach, which he identified, without a shadow of a doubt, as non-terrestrial in origin, not made by human, a sight that must have been utterly breathtaking, a complete and total shattering of any preconceived notions of what was truly possible, transforming his entire worldview in an instant. His detailed descriptions of these crafts went beyond mere appearance, delving into their precise dimensions, their unique, seamless construction, their internal structure, hinting at complex, unknown systems within, and most significantly, their astonishing propulsion mechanism, which he asserted relied fundamentally on a previously unknown yet remarkably stable element, an exotic substance he referred to as element 115, a substance capable of generating an anti-gravity field when bombarded with protons, a concept that exists entirely outside the periodic table as it was then understood, and indeed still remains outside the known stable elements today, a scientific anomaly of monumental proportions. He meticulously described the operational principles of this utterly revolutionary system, outlining, step by step, how the element 115 would be carefully irradiated within the core of the craft, producing an antimatter reaction that would then be precisely converted into gravity waves, allowing the craft to effortlessly warp space-time around itself and achieve seemingly impossible feats of acceleration, breaking all known laws of inertia and exhibiting astonishing maneuverability, movements that defied any conventional understanding of flight. A physics lesson of sorts, yes, but one delivered from a perspective that challenged, fundamentally and entirely, every known scientific paradigm, every established theory of motion and energy, forcing a complete re-evaluation of reality. The profound implications of Lazar's narrative were nothing short of staggering, stretching the very fabric of accepted reality, suggesting not only the unequivocal and undeniable existence of extraterrestrial intelligence, beings from other worlds visiting our own, but also the mind-bending notion that Earth governments, in absolute, profound secrecy, were already in possession of their technology, actively studying it with intense focus, and perhaps even attempting to replicate it in their hidden labs, a secret so monumental, so utterly world-changing, that its mere existence, if proven true, would instantly and irrevocably reshape humanity's fundamental understanding of its place in the vast, silent cosmos, challenging centuries of scientific and philosophical thought. His accounts further detailed the specific, exotic types of energy required to power these crafts, the strange, unknown materials involved in their construction, materials unlike anything found naturally on Earth, and even the unique, almost ethereal hum that he claimed emanated from the operational anti-gravity generators, a low, resonant thrum that spoke of immense, contained power. Sensory details that added a disturbing tangibility, a chilling realism, to his otherwise almost unbelievably fantastical tale, making it feel less like a story and more like a direct memory. He spoke with a quiet intensity of the profound and disorienting sensation he experienced when he was near the active propulsion system, a powerful, almost sickening feeling of being pulled in multiple directions simultaneously, as if the very space around him was twisting, a palpable, physical manifestation of the strange, unseen forces at play, underscoring, with unnerving clarity, the utterly alien and unnatural nature of the technology, a feeling that defied description. Lazar's unwavering willingness to step into the harsh glare of public scrutiny, to go public with these audacious assertions, knowing full well the intense skepticism, the relentless ridicule, and the profound personal and professional consequences he would undoubtedly face, lent a certain, almost unsettling weight to his claims. For his growing legion of supporters, presenting himself not as a madman seeking attention, but as a genuine whistleblower, a man motivated by a deep and unshakable sense of duty to reveal what he firmly believed was the single most important secret in all of human history, a burden he seemed to carry with both unwavering conviction and a quiet, almost weary determination. Despite the profound and often devastating personal consequences that inevitably followed, including the relentless scrutiny from media and authorities, the constant and often aggressive questioning of his sanity, his honesty, and his entire life story, all of which became an undeniable and indelible part of his enduring, controversial narrative, solidifying his place in the annals of modern mystery. Generate audio. Overview: the profoundly compelling narrative woven by Bob Lazar, regardless of its ultimate veracity, its ultimate truth in the cold, clear light of verifiable fact, a truth that remains elusive and debated, taps into a deeply ingrained and timeless human fascination with hidden knowledge, a fascination that seems to be hardwired into our very being, passed down through countless generations, with the powerful, almost magnetic, and endlessly intriguing idea that there exist profound truths, monumental discoveries, or even entire realities, complex and intricate, deliberately and meticulously concealed from the wider public, from the common gaze of humanity, a concept that resonates deeply and persistently through centuries of human culture, a thread woven through the tapestry of our shared history, finding its profound and varied expression in the ancient myths passed down through generations, stories told by flickering firelight, in the secretive, often complex, esoteric traditions that require deep study and initiation, rituals and knowledge shared only among the chosen few, and certainly, perhaps most vividly, in the pervasive and increasingly common modern conspiracy theories that thrive in the digital age, spreading with rapid, often unchecked intensity across our interconnected world. This innate, almost primal yearning to uncover what is veiled, to peel back the layers of illusion, to pierce through the intricate, often opaque, layers of secrecy, to see what lies beyond the shimmering curtain of ordinary perception, to touch the forbidden, the unknown, is an incredibly powerful motivator, a relentless driving force, fueling both rigorous scientific inquiry, the patient, meticulous work of observation, experimentation, and empirical proof, the slow, steady climb towards understanding, and at the very same time, the more speculative, imaginative, and often boundless reaches of human imagination, allowing our minds to soar beyond the constraints of what is currently known, drawing us irresistibly, almost compulsively, toward the shadows, toward the mysterious, toward the things whispered about in hushed tones, in secret corners, but never openly displayed, never brought fully into the glaring, undeniable light of day. Think for a moment of the irresistible allure of archaeological discoveries, the almost indescribable excitement that surges through us, a thrill that resonates deep in our bones when we unearth a lost city, its grand structures swallowed by time and sand, reclaimed by the indifferent earth, or when we stumble upon the remnants of an unknown civilization, a culture previously erased from the very pages of history, its memory lost to all but the earth itself. Each unearthed artifact, a precious fragment of a forgotten story, a tangible link to a past we can barely comprehend, a whisper from antiquity. Each cryptic inscription, a tantalizing clue to lives lived long ago, demanding patient interpretation, continue to call to us. Their silent siren song, inviting us to ponder the infinite possibilities that exist just beyond our grasp, to gently let our minds drift, unburdened, into the vastness of the unknown, preparing them for a peaceful descent into sleep. The very air around us seems to hum with these unanswered questions, the quiet promise of secrets yet to be revealed, a soft, inviting hum that encourages the mind to wander freely, to explore the boundaries of what is known and what remains concealed. A comforting thought as the edges of awareness begin to soften and blur. The whispers of hidden truths from ancient times, from the dawn of human curiosity, merge seamlessly with the contemporary tales of unseen technologies and veiled operations, creating a continuous thread of mystery that stretches from the earliest campfire stories to the most advanced scientific speculations of today, a testament to the insatiable human desire to comprehend the inexplicable, to touch the untouchable, and to perceive the imperceptible. This deep, resonant longing for discovery, for unveiling, for stripping away the layers of the mundane to glimpse the extraordinary, serves as a gentle anchor for the mind, holding it in a space of intriguing contemplation without demanding active engagement, allowing the thoughts to float freely, lightly, like clouds drifting across the vast, empty desert sky, each one a passing whisper of a deeper truth, slowly, gently, guiding you towards a state of profound relaxation and peaceful rest. The subtle patterns of light and shadow, the imagined hum of alien technology, the ancient echo of unknown civilizations, all these elements combine to create a tapestry of thought that is rich and intricate, yet so soothingly presented that it becomes a lullaby for the searching mind, a quiet invitation to surrender to the comfort of the unknown, to let go of the need for answers, and simply to be, drifting softly. The very existence of facilities like Area 51, these spectral installations hidden in plain sight, and the pervasive, almost suffocating, omnipresent culture of absolute secrecy that meticulously surrounds them, a veil of silence, so thick, so dense, it seems to absorb all sound, all light, all inquiry, effectively insulating them from the probing curiosity of the outside world, paints a stark and undeniable contrast with the transparency and accessibility that largely define much of our modern daily life, our bustling, interconnected world, where information often flows with unprecedented speed and freedom, creating a hidden world, a shadow realm, a parallel existence, where information is meticulously and painstakingly controlled, where every piece of data, every whispered word, every technological breakthrough is carefully vetted, filtered, and often deliberate. A profound and absolute departure from the open exchange of ideas, the free flow of knowledge, and the general accessibility of information that we often take for granted without truly appreciating its value. a stark reminder of how truly privileged our normal, everyday lives truly are, existing outside this profound veil. Imagine, for a moment, if you will, allowing your mind to gently wander, to consider the daily lives of those extraordinary individuals, the men and women who are inextricably involved in such deeply classified operations, the very fabric of their days woven with threads of hidden knowledge, the scientists, the engineers, the security personnel, the technicians, each one an essential cog in this vast, unseen machine. Individuals who wake each morning knowing, with an almost crushing, tangible certainty, that they possess knowledge so profound, so utterly transformative, so beyond the current understanding of humanity, that if widely known, if ever allowed to spill, even in the smallest trickle, into the public domain, it could fundamentally and irrevocably alter global geopolitics, shifting the very balance of power across nations in an instant, perhaps rendering old alliances meaningless and forging new, unforeseen ones, revolutionize scientific understanding in ways we can barely conceive, forcing a complete reevaluation of our most cherished theories and models, and perhaps most importantly, completely reshape humanity's fundamental perception of its own humble, solitary place in the vast, silent cosmos, forcing a reevaluation of everything we thought we knew about ourselves, our origins, and our destiny. Their world, their daily existence, would be one of constant, relentless compartmentalization, of carefully guarded conversations spoken only in hushed tones, in secure rooms, every word chosen with deliberate precision, of a perpetual, almost suffocating awareness of the immense and crushing weight of the secrets they meticulously carry, secrets that form the very core of their professional lives, a silent, unseen burden that would undoubtedly shape their interactions with others, making even simple conversations fraught with unspoken meaning, influence their unique perspectives on the world, creating a worldview radically different from the mainstream, and perhaps even their deepest inner lives, their very sense of self, a profound and continuous reevaluation of their own identity in the face of such monumental truths, an unspoken, profound testament to the extraordinary, almost unbelievable nature of their work, a quiet and often isolating sacrifice of their own personal freedom and the easy transparency of a normal life. They would live a life of profound duality, outwardly appearing completely ordinary, unremarkable even, blending seamlessly into society when they return from their hidden workplaces, yet also exhilarating, that the vast majority of humanity can only speculate about them, only dream of their existence, only glimpse fragments in whispered tales, creating a unique and perhaps terribly isolating existence, a lonely burden of unparalleled and potentially overwhelming knowledge, a constant internal struggle between what they know and what they can say. Consider, in quiet contemplation, allowing your thoughts to gently drift, the intricate and rigorously structured daily routine within such a highly secure and utterly impenetrable environment, a place designed for ultimate containment. The multiple interlocking layers of security protocols, each one a formidable barrier, a complex dance of checks and balances, the meticulous and unending checks, biometric scans, access codes, psychological evaluations, all designed to ensure absolute control, the pervasive, almost unnerving, and deeply unsettling sense of being constantly observed, even by one's trusted peers, a subtle pressure that molds behavior and thought, all meticulously designed and ruthlessly enforced to maintain an impenetrable barrier, a solid, unyielding wall of silence and unbreachable security. Between the classified activities occurring within and the vast, unaware outside world, a world oblivious to the profound events taking place just beyond its perception. creating a distinct, almost alien social ecosystem. A society built not on shared history or common culture, but on secrets, on shared unspoken knowledge. The individuals within this highly controlled and meticulously curated system would, by absolute necessity, form a unique kind of community, bound tightly not only by their shared professional duties and the intense, often crushing pressure of their groundbreaking work, but by the shared, profound, and profoundly isolating knowledge of these extraordinary, world-altering secrets, creating an intense sense of exclusivity, a deep-seated camaraderie born from shared burdens, shared responsibilities, and shared risks that few others could ever comprehend. A silent, unspoken pact of understanding, a bond forged in the crucible of classified information, a shared burden of monumental proportions. The stark, almost unbelievable contrast with the bustling, often chaotic, and beautifully noisy rhythm of everyday life in our cities and towns, where information flows freely, sometimes torrentially, a deluge of data, and personal privacy is often a fleeting, almost forgotten concept, a luxury rarely afforded, could not be more profound, highlighting the extreme measures taken, the immense resources expended, the countless hours of human ingenuity dedicated to safeguard what is deemed of paramount national, or perhaps even global, importance. A secret so precious, so volatile, so potentially destabilizing, that its security overshadows all else, every other consideration, exist simultaneously on our planet, sometimes separated by mere miles, yet worlds apart in their fundamental realities. For the elite decision-makers, those shadowy figures at the pinnacle of the power structures, overseeing such deeply impactful endeavors, the daily reality would be one of immense and crushing responsibility and an unending stream of complex ethical dilemmas, decisions made in hushed tones behind closed doors, constantly weighing the perceived benefits of maintaining absolute secrecy against the potential, unknown implications of any form of disclosure. Any crack in the carefully constructed facade, navigating a treacherous and often morally ambiguous path between the unwavering demands of national security, the protection of a nation's interests at all costs, and the public's inherent right to know, a democratic ideal often at odds with covert operations. Between the profound unknowns that these secrets represent, and the potential for widespread panic or profound societal upheaval that their revelation might unleash upon an unprepared world, the very foundations of society potentially trembling their existence would be intrinsically defined by the delicate and precarious balance of power, the strategic and often subtle manipulation of information, carefully crafting narratives and controlling access to knowledge, and the constant, vigilant assessment of both looming threats, whether from foreign adversaries or the unknown, and fleeting opportunities, fleeting moments to advance their objectives, a relentless, high-stakes game of chess played on a global board with stakes that are truly astronomical, shaping policies and futures in ways that remain largely unseen, beyond the comprehension of the average citizen, a hidden hand guiding the course of nations, and all the while, outside the fences and the guarded gates, beyond the reach of human secrets and ambitions, the vast, silent Nevada desert continues its ancient, unchanging vigil, a stoic and indifferent witness to the fleeting dramas of humanity, the wind sighing softly, a mournful, timeless sound that carries across the barren landscape, the stars wheeling overhead in their slow, predictable, and utterly tranquil dance, an eternal celestial ballet, completely indifferent to the complex human dramas playing out within its hidden heart, a timeless, silent witness to the enduring human quest for knowledge, the persistent allure of the unknown, and the profound, almost overwhelming weight of secrets held, a quiet, almost comforting reminder of the vastness of time and space, and the gentle, calming rhythm of the universe, as you slowly drift deeper into rest, letting the thoughts of hidden truths and ancient deserts fade, replaced by the soft, comforting embrace of slumber, a truly peaceful descent into dreams, where the boundaries of the real and the imagined softly blur and the mind